Hi, Derek with Knife Ship Free. If you've been following me, you know that I just got back from a trip to Japan with my friend Murray Carter, a master bladesmith. He and I were there scouting out a new factory for a project that we're working on. While I was there, I wanted to pick up a new line of kitchen knives. And Murray said to me, as I was talking to Murray about it, he said to me, if you're going to pick up kitchen knives, why not carry the very best? And you're already here, so you might as well get the very best. I said, of course, that's what I want. So he took me to this friend of his, and she had a wall full of blades. And he said, now you don't want just any of these. You want the ones made by Mr. Shiraki. Now Mr. Shiraki is, as Murray said, the world's best bladesmith. And I said, world's best? Better than you? And I kind of said it half joking. And he answered me back without joking. And he said, absolutely, he's better than I am. Mr. Shiraki, he actually forges and heat treats blades. That's all he does. And he does them for the highest end Japanese cutlery. Well, Murray takes me to this friend's house. Her name's Mickey, by the way, just in case I let that slip out later. And she has this wall of blades, and there's all different kinds of makers there. And Murray explains to her, we only want the very best. And so she begins to sort through there and pulls out blades. And I said, well, I thought that all he did was forge and heat treat. And Murray explained to me that all of the businesses in Seke City, which is where the center for cutlery, all of these businesses are little cottage industries. And so one guy does the forging and the heat treat, and then he passes those blades off to another man who does the grinding of the blades. And then it goes to somebody else who maybe does the polishing, somebody else does the sharpening, and lastly it ends up at Mickey's place where she has just the blades and she sells them, and then she puts the handles on when you buy them. So what we ended up with were, and by the way, none of the blades are marked with anybody's name. So whenever you go there, the person who is selling the blades gets to mark them with their mark, and so that's what we did. Anyway, so what we ended up with were the finest hand-forged blades in the world. And they're fairly limited in what kinds of blades you could get because he only makes a few different things. But so just to tell you a little bit about it. So we've got a two-part laminate, which is what these sushi type knives are supposed to be. With the cutting edge on this particular one, it's white steel number 1. We did have a few of them that have blue steel, but white steel number 1, perfectly forged, perfectly heat treated. It's chisel ground on this side, and then on the other side it's a hollow grind, and just you can tell really great quality of grinding because it has just a hint of where the blade is ground on the backside, right around the edge where it actually touches the stone when it's sharpened. So we got these blades back, and I said, we have the blades by the world's greatest bladesmith. And so I asked Murray if he would, because he's the best sharpener that I know of this kind of knife. I mean, there's nobody who sharpens better than Murray. And I had him go through and go completely over the knife and make sure that it was straight, that it was sharp, and all of the kind of tests that he goes through. So he sharpened these, and these are perfect. They're incredible. Now they are pricey, and I realize that that this doesn't hit a lot of my customers. But you just about have to hold one of these knives to appreciate it. And if you've ever wanted the very best forged Japanese cutlery, these are them.